will be paired. Captain's choice, 9-hole competition. There'll be 50 tee times, 5 tee times a day, 8, 11, 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8 p.m. You can call and get registered today, 803-528-1617. Again, 803-528-1617 is how you can call. $150 per team or $75 per individual. Call and get registered today. I believe, I'm going to confirm this, though you will be playing Quail Hollow Country Club is the course that you'll be playing here. And again, a grand prize of $1,000. So go ahead and get registered. That is January 30th, 31st, and February 1st. So we'll talk about that with the guys coming up here in the next segment. But Preston, real quick, before we get into some national championship discussion, I know you had to hop off there with Chris Deering, but wanted to give your Summerville guys and girls some love. The Summerville girls right now, they are number 1 in the 5A D1 girls top 10 in basketball. And the boys, well, they're number 4. So Summerville upholding that fantastic Preston Thorne legacy.
We have a strong tradition in women's basketball. Teresa Kendall is a giant and a legend. I believe at one point she was winning as volleyball and basketball coach or something along those lines. So we do have a strong tradition in women's basketball.
There you go. Speaking of a strong tradition, but not quite good enough to get over the hump, Ohio State. Ryan Day, I don't know if we're aware of this. Every coach, well, except for Luke Fickell and his brief tenure there, every coach that has coached there, the last 3 coaches there, the last 2 coaches have won national championships. You got obviously Jim Tressel, then Urban Meyer, Ryan Day now trying to take over for Urban Meyer. Big favorites, 9.5-point favorites. What football handsy discussion can you get into with Ohio State on Monday night?
It's interesting because I don't know if there's any football handsy discussions to really get into. I think, if Chip Kelly doesn't try and get too smart like he did against Michigan, I think they let the Eagles get in the way when they tried to prove that they were tougher than Michigan when all they had to do was just be faster than Michigan, which they were. So I don't know if there's any necessarily football handsy things to get into, but right now it seems as if Ohio State is playing the best football of anybody in the country.
It does. And, well, Notre Dame, they've done it in entirely different ways. It feels like Notre Dame is plodding and boring and slow and just not fun to watch when you think about their games. And then you got Ohio State, and they've clicked on the offense. They blew Tennessee out of the water. They blew Oregon out of the water. It looked like they were going to blow Texas out of the water early on, and then Texas defense got going and figured some things out. So it honestly, it feels like 2 contrasting styles here. It feels like Notre Dame's about to play 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and Ohio State's about to throw it all over the field to all those great wide receivers.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. Ohio State wants to get up and use those guys, get vertical and play the downfield game. What I'm wondering is if, I guess I may have a little bit more confidence in Notre Dame being quote-unquote battle-tested because they've played in close games coming up to this point throughout the playoffs, and it seems like they may be a little bit more hardened in the playoffs, whereas Ohio State has flown through because they played really well. And so I'm wondering if in this final game, if it comes down to a game that's tight and it's a back-and-forth game, will Ohio State be able to survive a tight game as opposed to the blowout that they've had so far?
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, 9.5-point spread on that. Obviously, we will not be on Monday morning. We'll be off for Martin Luther King Day. You going with Ohio State on here? Is this Ohio State's turn the corner? Ohio State's going to have an ugly loss to Michigan, one that was hard to get over, but they're going to get over it by winning a championship. Is that the direction you're going with this?
Yeah, I think yes. Let me be firm. Yes, I think Ohio State will win.
Do they do it in a blowout?
I can't predict that, but I do think it's possible.
Okay. So then real quick here, Notre Dame, what does Notre Dame have to do to turn the page and to get themselves a national champion? That's kind of the running joke. Like Notre Dame they just who they are, who they are. I think it's 89. I'm doing this off the top of my head. 89, 88. The last national championship for Notre Dame, if I'm thinking correctly. So Notre Dame, to most people, especially if you were born after 1990. So if you're basically under the age of 30, Notre Dame and national championships are not something you're familiar with.
Yeah, and so I'm sure a lot of younger people are like, "What's the big deal with Notre Dame? Like, why does everybody always talk about them?" And I guess I understand that. But this is an opportunity for them to get into the spotlight and be who they have been advertised to be this whole time. Again, they don't have the speed to keep up with. Can they do one of those old school soccer tricks where they wet the field down or make the field muddy to go into the game, or is that not an option for this game?
Well, listen, you can do whatever you want. I don't think that's an option though. I'm going to go with no on
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right. That might have been one of the ways to slow Ohio State down. But if you want to talk about strategically, I think you have to just make the game shorter. Limit possessions, make your possessions longer, which they will. Sit on the ball for a little bit longer. Keep Ohio State's offense off the field and try and turn the game into the type of game that they want to play as opposed to what Ohio State wants to do.
Last Notre Dame national championship, 1998. And Preston, I didn't know that. I didn't know this until just now. But if you talk about like in our lifetime, what you've got is they have only won one national championship in my lifetime. I thought Notre Dame was supposed to be this incredible, awesome program. I didn't realize they've had one national championship since 1977, and that was obviously 88. That was a Lou Holtz team. But I've been built up in my 40 years of life to feel like that Notre Dame is this dominant program, but they've only got one national championship. So it's a little bit of a surprise there. We'll talk more about that in the 8 o'clock hour. But coming up next, we're going to get Golfy 101. I challenge the guys, Steven and David, to give us some golf 101. We'll see if they can do that. We'll talk a little bit about this golf tournament coming up when we come back. You're listening to the early game. Rolling along live from Pro Swing here in Columbia, 4708 Forest Drive, where we've been hanging out. Food has been delivered. My attention span has dwindled, but it's been a fun morning so far. We got one more hour to go, but joined now by David and Stephen here. David Johnson, Stephen Caldwell. Thank you. Reading is difficult early in the morning. Getting up and drinking coffee is not. Guys, thanks for having us out this morning.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys coming out. Definitely excited to get this thing rolled and get opened up. And, having the radio station out here has done us wonders. So we're ready to come out here and swing a couple sticks all day and see what we can make of it.
David said he was concerned about talking, Stephen, so I figured
that's okay. Yeah, put him on the spot.
Throw him right into the water and see if he sinks or swims. So, number one, tell us a little bit about indoor golf, and it's like today. It's cold. I hate the cold. I despise the cold. You just heard what Jen said off air about my attitude towards cold, especially in the studio. But indoor golf, you can play. You can have beverages, whatever kind of beverage you like, adult or other kind. You can putt. You guys got a putting simulator, but there's so many cool things that can be done indoors where you don't have to worry about being cold.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we want to provide the premier indoor golf experience here in the area. It's an excellent alternative to being out on the actual course, whether it's raining outside, too cold, like you said, or here in the summer, it gets over 100 degrees. Some of us that are a little bit overweight, like myself, might die out there in 100-degree weather. Or, it gets dark at 6 o'clock this time of year. So if you're off work at 5, you're not getting a tee time on a course. So being able to come in here and swing and just kind of keep yourself, swinging for the next time you're out.
Oh, it's fun. You can bring a foursome in here. And also, as you mentioned, you're not chasing your ball. You're not hopping in a cart, maybe driving in a pond or something because you've indulged a little bit too much. But more importantly, you can just get out and work on your golf game a little bit more than typically you would have been in the past if you had to go outdoors and hit some.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with our driving range or the My Practice function, there's actually an app with the machine. It's like having your own Golf Pro videoing you while you're in here. You get all the numbers that you could ever want, video as well, to make incremental adjustments in your game. And to be honest, outside of that, you mentioned coming in with the foursome. The machine can actually hold up to 6 folks. The social aspect of getting in here with your buddies or your family or whatever and playing is really where these machines shine.
David, you guys do have memberships available. You can go online, proswingcolumbia.com. People can purchase a membership if they want.
Absolutely. So, our actual model starts with, walk-ins, online bookings. You can do that for an hourly rate, not just one person, up to 6 people. So you do get those bays per hour, but also memberships are available. So whether you want to come in a couple hours during the month or whether you're planning on being here 15 hours out of the month, we've got memberships that kind of fit everybody's need for coming in. And again, it's a great alternative to needing to be outside when it's cold, when it's too hot. You're able to come in, get your round in 45 minutes to an hour. I know my wife wonders where I'm at. She's on the impression that golf's now a 7-hour round. I don't know if it's got me in trouble or not this morning, but it gives me time to come in, play a couple rounds, work on some things, and get home in time to not get yelled at. So,
well, also like tomorrow, if someone wanted to come in, y'all's hours are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tomorrow it'll be 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. But if somebody wanted to come in, y'all have got TVs here as well. So if you wanted to come watch South Carolina and Oklahoma basketball or any of the basketball, play a little golf. It's supposed to be rainy. I think next week's supposed to be snowy.
Yes.
But so you're definitely not going to play golf. But if you wanted to come in, y'all have got TVs. And again, there are beverages that can be served and enjoyed while you play as well.
That's right. We've got a dozen plus TVs in here, high def TVs. You can come. They're always tuned into some sort of sport. Obviously, we're golf centric, so we'll have golf on if there's a tournament going on. But all the Carolina games we'll have playing. We have playoff football coming up here. It's already started. National championship coming up. So those kind of things we'll obviously have on the TVs. Where you can come in and enjoy while you're playing some golf. So it's a great place to do both.
And most importantly, we've got a golf tournament coming up, the first annual indoor golf tournament. So as I've said all morning, you can sign up and you don't have to worry about it raining and it being rained out, it being too cold to play. Your environment. First annual indoor golf tournament hosted by Pro Swing. It'll be January 30th, 31st, and the 1st.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be 2-man teams. You get to pick your tee time. So whatever kind of fits to your schedule. I know you guys are going to be out here Thursday and Friday with us.
Yeah, they just tell me I go somewhere.
Yeah. So, we'll have everybody out here. We have you guys here Thursday and Friday. Pick your tee time, and that way you can set up with your friends. We even link the two machines together in order to have. I've played some rounds with Steve before, and he's on the bay next to me, and just see his ball fly over my head. So there's not a great feeling with that, but you get to link up with your buddies, and we'll keep track of the whole thing. We've got prizes, raffling away some tailor-made gear, some free fittings and lessons and things like that. So should be a good time.
You can get, if you sign up, call out today. People can call and sign up, 803-528-1617, $150 per team, $75 per individual. If you're a single and you want to just be partnered with someone, meet someone. Golf always a great way to get out and socialize a little bit. You can do that, but you get some practice rounds, discounted practice rounds as well.
Absolutely. So just like the pros can get on the course and play before their tournament, we want to give you the opportunity to do the same. And if nothing else, it's a good way to get acclimated to playing indoors. It is a little different, takes a little getting used to, but it's just a great way to come in and enjoy yourself, have a great time. We're super excited to kind of be welcomed into this community and welcome our new customers to come out and check out this should be a really, really fun time with this tournament. We're really excited.
And again, that'll be January 30th, 31st, and the 1st, and you can get out here and check it out for yourself. Again, you can come by. We'll be here all day, 6 a.m. when we started, all the way up to 6 p.m. And as y'all mentioned, we'll be back. And real quick on the golf tournament, Quail Hollow is
correct.
And you only be playing 9 holes, by the way.
Yes,
so
that's correct.
It's not like you're going to be spending all day.
Yeah, it's a way to get in for a quick tee time. We'll play 9 holes and over the 3 days.
Well, we'll be back here with y'all. I'll be here for a whole other hour. Thank you for having us out this morning.
Awesome. Thanks for
We're
being
going to get Preston healthy and have him out here next time as well.
Sounds good.
That.
Good deal. Stephen Caldwell and David Johnson with Pro Swing here. 4708 Forest Drive is where we're at this morning. We'll come back. Hour 3 on the way. You're listening to the early game.
And
Y'all are good. Oh, okay.
You're just having a conversation.
Yeah. No problem.
Yes, that was great. Thank you very much.
They do say the perfection is a journey, and our journey took us to Carolina Stone Craftsman just outside Columbia in Chapin. We did a little bit of renovating in a couple bathrooms and replaced the cabinets, so obviously needed a countertop to put on. And we were recommended to go to Carolina Stone Craftsman. The first time we went, the showroom was so impressive. And then we got to learn more about how they operate. And they're a family-owned business, have such a commitment to quality and to affordable marble and granite and quartz. And they do amazing craftsmanship. And like I said, that showroom is fantastic. And they're actually building an outdoor showroom because there's outdoor scapes that they do. Can't wait to tell you more about all of that. But our whole process was great, from picking out the cabinets to installation. If you're in the market for countertops for your kitchen or bath, I encourage you to reach out to Carolina Stone Craftsman. Tell them Jen Jensen sent you, of course. Family-owned and operated Carolina Stone Craftsman, just beyond Columbia in Chapin and beyond your expectations. Visit carolinastonecraftsman.com. Still a little bit busy out on the highways this morning. We are working, or they are working, Farrow Road near I-77. Also, I-77 northbound before Bluff Road, getting that cleaned up from an earlier multi-car accident. Killian at Farrow, we have a report of a tie-up. Lewis Rast Road at southbound. Roshmitz Road at Dutch Fork Road up in the Chapin area. And Two Notch at Longs Pond. 60, that's going to be our high today, overnight low of 40. And that's the last day of sunshine for a couple days. 58 tomorrow, 57 on Sunday. Looking for morning rain both days. And then we start the work week a little bit cooler in the upper 30s. Right now, though, still chilly and 30.
Rolling along here. Live from Pro Swing, 4708 Forest Drive here in Columbia. Thank you again to David Johnson and Stephen Caldwell for joining us there in that segment. And Preston Thorne, we'll get you good and healthy and get you out here in 2 weeks when we're back here for the first annual indoor golf tournament. And I know you are fired up and ready to showcase your skills. This is actually, people don't know it, I'm on to Preston's game. This is about our anniversary. This is about our 3-year anniversary. Is that right? 2 years, Jen? Does that seem right, Jen? You're the Preston, is that right? Bueller?
Feels like a lifetime.
I am on to Preston's game. He is not actually sick. He is at the house today. He is secretly working on his golf game to surprise all of us when we're back here at Pro Swing in 2 weeks. And we will be caught off guard by the skill left-handed Preston Thorne will show, or we'll call him Preston Woods. But, a lot of fun here this morning. Appreciate the guys for having us out. Again, you come by and hang out with us or with Tyler and the Gamecock Central guys after us, Terry and Elijah here later on today, and then Jay and Elijah. So we'll be here all the way up till 6 p.m. tonight. Come on by. Again, they got the TVs here. I'm watching the Dubai Classic right now. The Hero Dubai Classic is, I believe, what I'm watching. Yeah, Dubai Desert Classic. I got to get the other word in there, Preston. Where last year's winner, Roy McIlroy, does not appear to be in contention at the moment. But we will keep you updated on that. John Rahm is playing in that golf tournament. Real quick, Preston, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, and I told you, I don't know where I'm at with my feelings for golf outside of the majors. Live Golf signed a television contract yesterday. Got a television contract with Fox Sports. So their American tournaments will be broadcast on either Fox Sports or FS1 this year. So that's a big step for Live Golf.
It is. It's a step forward because one of the complaints that everybody had about Live Golf was like, where do I find it? When is it? When are they playing? So it's on a quote unquote regular channel or regular channels, and maybe that makes it more exposure. I'm not sure how this comes about now or why this deal is getting done now as opposed to before, but something is obviously within the works.
Yeah, I mean, look, Live Golf, I watched something. You had to track it down on the CW channel, and it was awkward. And CW is trying to figure out what they're doing with this. But Live Golf, I'm not anti-Live Golf. It's different. It's different. It's kind of like the tomorrow's golf league, kind of like the tech infused golf league. It's something you watch, and because golf, for lack of a better term, Preston, is old and crusty. You still get the people when you go out with your speakers that yell at you, hey, turn that music down. I'm trying to play golf. It's supposed to be quiet out here. But golf is evolving and changing, and it's evolving and changing with something like what we're at today at Pro Swing, where you can come in, The TVs are on, music's playing, you get a beverage of your choice, you're indoors. Quite frankly, you're not spending nothing wrong with being outdoors, by the way, but you're not spending 4 or 5 hours outdoors. You come in, maybe you come in at a lunchtime during your lunch break, hit some golf balls, play around real quick, watch some TVs, grab a beverage, and then head back. And that's the new era of golf. That's more of what I consider our generation and the younger generation's style of golf these days.
Yeah, I just wonder if it translates to TV. Does it translate to sponsorships? Does it translate to people wanting to do it? But yeah, obviously golf is in the transition period right now.
So we will continue to tell you all about that. A lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff here going on out here today, and I'll be hanging around after the show, not just to eat the food that they have delivered, but to hang out and enjoy. So if you want to swing by later on this morning, again, we are here 4708 Forest Drive over here in Columbia. If you want to check them out on the web, proswingcolumbia.com. But come on by. We'll be here all day long and hit some golf balls and check out what this is all about. And again, don't forget their golf tournament coming up January 30th through February 1st. It is the Pro Swing inaugural golf tournament, $150 for two-man teams, two-man's captain's choice, $150 per team, $75 per individual. It'll be a 9-hole competition. You can pick your tee time. They'll have 5 tee times each day, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8 p.m. And you can go ahead and call and get registered today. The grand prize for the number one team, first place team, will be $1,000. And we'll continue to tell you all about that throughout the day. Let's do a little bit of a Gamecock whip around real quick for the weekend, Preston Thorne. As we enter the spring season, I've been getting my updates from the kids' high school, and we're getting into all those great spring sports, Preston Thorne. But let's start with basketball. Last night, South Carolina, 76-58 for the women's team. They knock off Alabama, and now they get ready for another ranked showdown on Sunday against Oklahoma. Again, we'll have that for you right here on 107.5 The Game. Women's basketball, 76-58, and a game against Oklahoma on Sunday.
Looking forward to it. A number next to them, big game. Let's go.
So they get going. Men's tomorrow, obviously we know they're coming off a 66-63 defeat at the hands of Vanderbilt, but they are back in action coming up on tomorrow. Excuse me, I'm all confused on my days. Coming up tomorrow, they play Oklahoma and Preston. We've already labeled it. I feel like this is it. This is their last stand. You lose. It's not that the program falls apart and that everything, but I feel like if you lose, Preston, the fan base checks out.
Listen, I think that's totally fair. People were still watching, and if you can tell by the activity on X or Twitter, people are still watching the game. But if they see a product that they don't like, it could be time for them to tune out. We'll see.
So you got that going. Obviously, plenty of basketball. We mentioned baseball 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today, Preston, Paul Mainieri and his team will hit the field February 14th. Also, PSA, guys, 4 weeks from today is Valentine's Day, or for your significant other. Don't forget. Put it down on the calendar along with the start of baseball season. This week, baseball got underway with some practices. I believe we'll be hearing from Paul Mainieri coming up in the next few days as he'll do a little preseason introduction. But Preston, it's almost here. Back to the diamond, a sport that, again, we try to repeat. People don't know, near and dear to your heart. You were an all-state first baseman.
Favorite sport, for sure. Can't wait to see it. Paul got me excited. I've seen some social media clips. I'm ready to go.
We got some track and field this coming weekend. You heard that right. Track and field, another great spring sport. And they head out to Lubbock, Texas for 2 consecutive meets in the Lone Star State. The Corky Classic, hosted by Texas Tech. It begins today at 5 p.m. You can actually check this out on ESPN Plus both today and tomorrow. ESPN Plus will have that for you. It is a loaded field, 10 teams from Power 4 level. The Gamecocks will be squaring off against SEC foes, Florida, Kentucky, Texas A&M, also SMU, New Mexico, Arizona State, Arizona, Miami, TCU, Baylor, all part of it, as well as the 2024 NCAA Men's Indoor National Champions, Texas Tech. So a 2-day meet taking place, men's and women's, out in Lubbock, Texas. So good luck to the track and field team as they get going. Swimming and diving, I know, a huge sport. Swimming and diving off this weekend. They will return to the pool. Is that how I say it properly? Return to the pool next Saturday, the 25th, against Georgia Tech. That'll be here in Columbia. So, Preston Thorne, we're not far away. We mentioned baseball. We mentioned track and field. We got soccer is coming up here in the not too distant future. Also, Ashley Chastain and the women's softball team, they get going February 6th. So the countdown to their opening contest, February the 6th against Virginia, that obviously will be on a Thursday here in Columbia. So spring sports kicking off. That's a little bit of your Gamecock whip around. Anything that caught your attention there, Mr. Thorne?
Yeah, the indoor track, man. If you get a chance to watch indoor track, it's amazing when they run the 60, I believe. They have to run that thing, and they have to decelerate. They accelerate so fast, they have to decelerate before they run into that wall. It's one of my favorite events to watch.
In case you're wondering, men's and women's golf also getting geared up, but they don't start. Men start February 10th down in Puerto Rico. Women get going February 2nd in California. So there's a little bit of your Gamecock whip around this morning to give you a breakdown of what's going on throughout Gamecock athletics, not just on the basketball court. Speaking of whip around, we'll get into a little NFL, Preston Thorne. We got some interesting coaching decisions being made. We got interesting playoff games. Let's do a little NFL playoffs when we come back. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen. It's the early game. Bill Gunner for Mid-State Roofing. Let me ask you, have you thought about your roof today? Besides when I talked about it last hour, have you thought about your roof? Like, I really thought about it. Have you realized that you may need some help maintaining it, that a big thunderstorm or high winds could end up doing some damage? Well, if you have not thought about it, it's time to. And 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Larry Leitner and the Mid-State Roofing family is there to help you. Whether it's an on-call technician or a Mid-State Roofing employee, somebody will answer your call and help you with a maintenance contract. Whether it's your home or your business, Mid-State Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that'll keep your operation dry and running long into the future. And again, they're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Give them a phone call, 803-356-1919. Again, that's 803-356-1919. You can also visit them online, midstateroofing.com. If you've got a leak, let Mid-State Roofing take a peek.
Farrow Road near I-77 have a report of an accident there. Still working I-20 eastbound at 277. I-77 northbound before Bluff Road, trying to get that cleared up. I-77 southbound at exit 1 right there at I-26, a report of an accident. Killian at Farrow, Lewis Rast Road at Southbound Road. And one more to let you know about up in the Chapin area, Rauschmetz Road at Dutch Fork Road. So aside from that, we're looking for sunny skies today, 60 for the high before some morning rain tomorrow and a high of 58. Still a cool start to your morning. We are sitting at 30.
Rolling along here on your Friday morning. Get up and get going. 8:16 here as we are live from Pro Swing 4708 Forest Drive here in Columbia. You can come by and see us. They've got a delicious food spread out. Chick-fil-A, some chicken minis, some Krispy Kreme donuts. Got some coffee going. They'll have a lunch going on here as well. So as you're out and about today, if you want to come by, hang out, visit with us, the 107.5 The Game crew. We will continue on after this show. We ain't going anywhere. I'll be hanging around just a little bit. So come on by. We will be here from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. all day long, and you can check out their simulators here. You can hit some golf balls, learn a little bit about it, maybe practice some putting over on the simulated putting green. It's a lot of fun. 4708 Forest Drive here in Columbia. Put that in your GPS this morning and come and join us. 4708 Forest Drive over here at Pro Swing in Columbia. 803-404-6100 if you want to text in. Playoffs this weekend, Preston Thorne. Playoffs, and it gets going tomorrow. Chiefs Texans is your opener tomorrow at 4:30. I'm putting the Chiefs on upset alert. They're winning. They've won a lot this year, but something seems off. It doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they blow out the Texans, but I don't know about this. I'm interested to see this game tomorrow.
You're right. They have been winning. You're right. Something does seem off. However, they have that dude wearing number 15 back there playing quarterback, and so as long as they got him, don't know if you can bet against him.
No, you are 100% right about that. Now, mind you, they sat their starters in the season finale. All right, let's not get carried. I'm not basing my my prediction on the fact that they lost the last game 38-0 with something called Carson Wentz running the offense. But they are 15-2. And this is strange, or is this the standard they have set? Because we do say that, and I'm like, something feels off. I don't feel like they're the favorites over Detroit or Buffalo, but they are 15-2. And again, that second loss was last week, 2 weeks ago, January the 5th, to Denver in a game where they didn't play any of their starters.
Well, that's what we do to great teams. I mean, we just talked about how Don Staley's teams have been coming off these supposedly slow starts, and then we look and we're like, oh yeah, actually it only happened twice. And so here's another team. They're 15-1. A couple of games were close. They did win by some last-minute field goals. There were some calls and blah, blah, blah. However, they win those games. And I think the skill of being able to win games in the end is really important. And as I said just a second ago, they still have the best quarterback in the league, the best player in the league. And so as long as you got that guy, can't bet against him.
If I give you the Chiefs or I give you the field, what are you taking?
I gotta take the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah, that's like if I gave you Jordan of the field. You take Jordan, right?
Ooh, that's a. I didn't see that analogy coming. No.
You wouldn't take if you would take Karl Malone.
I would take no. I would take Jordan. I would take Jordan.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a strong. I don't put the Chiefs. Oh, you've thrown me off with that, Jordan.
Okay.
Are the Chiefs Jordan? Are the Chiefs Jordan right now? Is that
no,
how good we've got them?
Patrick Mahomes is.
Oh, didn't see that one coming either. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I take the field.
Yeah.
I take the field in this.
Okay.
All right. That's your 4:30 game tomorrow. Your evening game tomorrow night. Commanders. What do we got here? Commanders are at the Lions, and I'm pulling for the Lions. I'm late to the part. I kind of started pulling for them last year. You were on the Vikings. I haven't gone to your extent of fandom. You bought in. Mm-hmm. You were a true. Mm-hmm. Now your contract is up. Your 1 year is over. I'm pulling for the Lions to win this whole thing. I want to see. I love Dan Campbell. I like the Lions story. They are the. If they get really good, we're going to hate them just like we did with Golden State, right? Like we're going to start picking and prodding and figuring out all the nasty, awful things about them. I'm pulling for the Lions, 9.5-point favorite tomorrow night at home against Washington.
Yeah, the Commanders are a great story. Also, new ownership, new quarterback, but it's not their time yet. So it's been fun. Move out the way. Let the Lions have their time. They've earned this. Dan Campbell's done an amazing job. The city has wanted this for a long time. Washington, if you could just go ahead and move out the way for now. Just for now. It's not your time yet.
Sunday, 3:00, Rams and Eagles. Eagles, they're there. They're here. Here we are in the Eagles, Lions for the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, maybe, or Rams. By the way, I'm taking the Lions if you can't tell. Where are we going with this? Rams and Eagles.
The way you feel about the Chiefs is the way I feel about the Eagles. Like, yeah, I understand they've been winning, but okay, I guess. Not really convinced. They're good. Saquon Barkley's had a great year. Mm-hmm. I don't know, though. So I say all that to say I think they do beat the Rams this weekend, but I don't think them to go all the way.
Okay. All right. And then that brings us to 6:30 Sunday night. I think this is the game of the weekend. I think this is the sporting event of the weekend. Even with the college, if you throw Monday night and the college football championship game in, I think Baltimore and Lamar Jackson at Buffalo and Josh Allen. Josh Allen at some point has to get over the hurdle and get to a Super Bowl. And then you talk about winning a Super Bowl. But Josh Allen right now is a really good quarterback on a team that I think, I'm sorry, it's not it. You're in the division with you're in the same conference with the Chiefs. You're in the same conference with the Ravens, who's really good. You're in the same conference with the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow's gotten to a Super Bowl. It's time for you to do it, and it starts tomorrow night against Baltimore. There.
Again,
Sunday night. By the way.
To extend the Jordan metaphor, look how many great players were in the same conferences as Michael Jordan. Oh. And just because they played at that same time, we don't talk about them as much. And I fear that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson may suffer the same fate because they are tremendous. They are amazing at playing the quarterback position. They do it in unique ways. But at the end of the day, they still got to beat Patrick Mahomes. And I don't know if either one of them can do that. That being said, I'd like to see Lamar get this one.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I just did that.
That's not a prediction, but I like to see that.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that because I just did that soliloquy on Josh Allen and like, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that, and you got to. Lamar Jackson's in the same boat, isn't he?
Absolutely, I think that's what makes the stakes in this game so high is that both of these guys really need to do this. The only problem is they get over this hump only to have to go up the hill, which is I'm presuming will be the Chiefs.
Well, you get over this, then you got to get past Buffalo. By the way, Baltimore a 1-point favorite, at least right now, according to ESPN Bet. Baltimore on the road, Preston. This is a little surprising to me. Baltimore on the road is a 1-point favorite against Buffalo. So let me ask you got those 4 games: Houston, Kansas City, Washington, Detroit, Rams, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Buffalo. I'm assuming you're going with me on Baltimore, Buffalo as the game of the weekend.
Yes.
Rank the others after that.
Okay. Ravens Bills 1. Commanders Lions 2.
Ooh.
Texans Chiefs 3. Rams Eagles 4.
Which quarterback is this weekend most important? All right, we're gonna real quick. We're gonna have our sporty sports. This is our sporty sports segment of the week where we yell at each other, we dissect, we get overly dramatic. Which quarterback is this more important for this weekend? Is it more important for Jalen Hurts? Hold on. I'm going to give you 3 because I'm not going to count Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud just yet. They're up and comers. And I got Detroit winning, so I'm taking out Jared Goff, and he's already been to a Super Bowl, and I'm taking out Mahomes and what he's done. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia?
I think we can maybe put Jalen Hurts to the side because he has been to a Super Bowl.
Okay.
So we can put him to the side, and that I think we go back to Josh Allen / Lamar Jackson. And I think maybe it's more important for Lamar Jackson. Because they added the Derrick Henry piece. I feel like this is the first time he's actually had another legit weapon behind him where he doesn't necessarily have to do it all by himself. And it's just time for him to get over that hump. I can make the same argument for Josh Allen.
I was gonna say I clearly mine is Josh Allen because of my thing that I just went on there about him. It's at home. He's got to win this game. If Baltimore's at home, I'll tell you what, I'd switch over. He's got to win this game. It's at home. It's at Highmark Stadium. It's going to be cold. It's 6:30. It's going to be cold. It's going to be dark. Those fans are going to be crazy and insane. Josh Allen's got to do it. It's now, to me, now or never.
Oof, there we go. Okay, up in the air. I hear you. Any weather predictions for that game? Is just cold. No funny stuff.
Let me see. Live radio. Let me see if I can get the weather app up real quick. Let me look up Buffalo, New York real quick. I mean, I'm sure there is snow involved. Buffalo, it tells me it's 30 degrees and cloudy up there right now, which I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is here. Daily in Buffalo. Sunday, the 19th, Preston Thorne. The high for the day. The game's at 6:30 is 21 degrees.
Come on.
The low is 10. There's a 25% chance of snow.
Yuck. I just don't want any type of snow to possibly change the trajectory of the game. Cold is fine, but yeah, man, both of these teams got to go play ball. And like you said, according to your argument is correct, and I think my argument is correct. And both of these guys are in desperate need of a win in a big game like this.
We'll get into some coaching discussion, NFL coaching discussion, when we come back. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It is the early game. Bill Gunner for the Mortgage Guru, Jacob Crowder, and First Palmetto Bank. Here we are in 2025 as we get ready and think of all the things we want to do this year: lose weight, eat healthier, sleep more. That's right. You want to do all that? Well, what about refinancing your home? Maybe you want to take advantage of better interest rates if they're coming down the pipe. Well, if so, the first thing you need to do is call Jacob Crowder, the Mortgage Guru. He's the Mortgage Guru for a reason. I used him just a couple years ago, and he helped get me a great interest rate on a great condo out in Lake Murray, and he's willing to do that for you. That's some of the great customer service that he offers. So call the Mortgage Guru today and learn about some of the great products that First Palmetto Bank and Jacob Crowder have, such as the Community Reinvestment product for Richland County, Blythewood, Northeast, Southeast, and the I-20 corridor, where they're offering a 4.99% interest with a 5.075 APR on a 30-year fixed mortgage. For more information, call Jacob Crowder today, 803-719-1005. Tell him Bill Gunner sent you.
Farrow Road near I-77, an accident there. Also I-20 eastbound at 277. I-77 northbound before Bluff Road, still getting that multi-car accident cleaned up. I-77 southbound right there at I-26, still a cleanup in the cleanup stages. Killian Road at Farrow, Lewis Rast Road at Southbound Road, Roshmetz Road at Dutch Fork, Two Notch at South Lake Drive, and Highway 378 at I-26. Quite the list. Do be careful out there this morning. Sunny today. That's what we're expecting. 60 for the high. Tomorrow, 58. Sunday, 57. Chance for morning showers both days before it gets a little bit cooler next week. Right now, it's 30 on the early game.
Excuse me, 8:36 here as we are live from Pro Swing out here in Columbia, 4708 Forest Drive, where you can come by and hang out. Tyler Head has made his appearance, so you can come and hang out with him after we leave, and then we will have Terry Ford, and I'm sure Elijah Campbell and Jay Phillips, and they'll all be hanging around here trying to look at the golf. Preston, I can just imagine Terry Ford and Jay Phillips looking at this golf screen. Like, I don't know what to do. Well, I don't know what this is. Jay says he's played golf before, but I highly doubt it. Jay doesn't look like a person who knows how to swing a golf club.
Pee-wee golf.
Pee-wee golf, yes. Even I can see Jay playing a little putt-putt, but that's about it. Not golf, not actual golf. All righty then. 803-404-6100, how you can weigh in. All right, Preston, are you like me and you are pulling like crazy for the Cowboys somehow over the weekend to figure out how to make this thing with Deion Sanders to work?
I want it to happen. Now I'm 100% all in. I want this to happen because Jerry Jones on his last stand, Deion with something to prove. Yes, give it to me. We need
Give you every bit of it.
Listen, they've been trying to make us pay attention to the Cowboys for the last 20 years with no actual reason. Now we'll actually have a reason to watch them.
Do you think Deion would be a good NFL coach?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. He's coached on several levels. He's going to have his coaching staff in place. And one of these things that people kind of and he knows the NFL culture. He knows how NFL works. He knows guys. He understands this. And I think he understands how you can motivate, how you talk to guys, how you relate to NFL guys. I think he'd be fine in the NFL.
Let me ask this: if we're being all serious, because it's Deion and it's prime time and there's sideshows and there's loud and there's bling and there's swagger and there's talking, and do we underestimate Deion Sanders? What you just said, do we underestimate Deion Sanders as an actual football coach?
Yeah, I think we've proven that we do. Yes, because of all the other stuff. But then when you see the social media clips or when you see the stuff of him actually conducting his program at Colorado, it's not a lot of any of that. That's to the outside world, but inside of those walls, it doesn't seem to be a lot of those extracurricular things. He seems to be pretty old school, basically, as far as how he runs the team. So yeah, I think we may underestimate him just because of all that other extracurricular stuff.
In New York with the Jets, Preston Thorne, you get to be the head coach. You're the head coach. Do you want Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, or do you tell Aaron, we're not dealing with you, go elsewhere?
Absolutely not. No, thank you.
The Jets have basically said that it will be up to the new head coach and the GM, the new GM as well, on whether they want to keep Aaron Rodgers. What are we going to – so we just talked about Deion and his legacy and what we think of Deion now as a coach, and unfortunately maybe what we don't think of Deion as a coach because of all the side stuff. Aaron Rodgers is going to be another guy. What do we – Jen, I'll even ask you, Jen, you get in on this because of his time with the Packers. What do we make of Aaron Rodgers as a football player here at the end of his career, as a football player at the end of his career, not as a human being?
Oh, okay. That makes it a lot different. But no, I just
see that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking.
I think he's broken.
Yeah, that's what. Bro, Preston,
he's old. I don't know why people don't understand this. 40-year-olds don't typically play quarterback. I don't think he's not bad. He's serviceable.
Sure,
he's old though.
But just kind of broken.
Yeah. And to be clear, from my perspective, he's one of the greatest to ever play the position by far. But you can't do it forever. And
He's
so
41. Yeah, you mentioned 41.
yeah. Yeah, I
Are
would
we
not.
gonna?
I would not want to. I would not want to be starting my franchise or my tenure off with a 41-year-old quarterback. It does not work, regardless of
All
all
right.
the other stuff.
And then that brings me to my other question on Aaron Rodgers. Jen, you hit on it. You said, "Oh, as a football player, what will be the lasting memory of Aaron Rodgers if we have seen him play his last game? If he does indeed retire or nobody signs him, what is now our lasting memory of Aaron Rodgers?"
He should have retired when he left the Packers.
Preston?
Not to do like in memoriam or something like that, but I'll probably remember like, him saying relax, or him doing the discount double take the belt when he was with the Packers. That's the Aaron Rodgers I choose to remember.
Absolutely.
I don't know about this guy.
We will continue to monitor Aaron Rodgers and the Jets because it is like the sands of an hourglass. It is a soap opera that can only be monitored in a soap opera style. 803-404-6100. Preston will come back. National championship game thoughts. Since we'll be out on Monday, we'll get to those. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It is the early game. Hey, Terry is coming. Terry's coming later today, right? I'm going to leave his camera right here. Bill Gunner for John Ecton and the Ecton Law Firm. Have you received a mean, nasty notice from the IRS? Are they coming after you, whether it's your business or your personal taxes? Is the IRS trying to come after you? Well, if so, don't let it affect you. Call the professionals. Call John Ecton and his team today. Whether you're here in Columbia, Florence, Myrtle Beach, Aiken, Augusta, the Ecton Law Firm has proven local solutions that will help resolve your income or business tax issues for good. So give them a phone call and line up a free consultation. You heard that right. Free consultation will start the whole process. 803-771-9800. Again, that's 803-771-9800. Do not try to navigate the IRS maze by yourself. Use someone who's been there, who has solutions, who's proven it, taking care of people. Call John Ecton and his team. 803-771-9800. Tell him Bill Gunner sent you. wrapping it up before we turn it over to Tyler Head and Jack and Chris Clark, who I saw wander through here a minute ago, and the whole Gamecock Central crew as we are at 107.5 the game. I'm reading right off of my notes. I am like Ron Burgundy. Literally the notes right here, it says 107.5, and I just started reading it. We are at Pro Swing here in Columbia, 4708 Forest Drive, where, again, you can come and hang out today. Even after I finish up, after Tyler finishes up, old Terry Ford will be here asking how you hit a golf ball.
Are you saying he's old? Is that what you just said?
I think I am.
It's been great working with you, Bill. Nice knowing you.
It is. Old Terry Ford. Like an old rusty Ford. I
Who could
enjoyed
run
this program.
laps around you?
Well, I'm small and skinny. It's not hard to go to run laps. around.
Okay. Keep going anyway.
Yeah, what do you want there? 803-404-6100. Anyway, Preston, Pro Swing. Been a lot of fun. You and I will be back here in 2 weeks here as we get ready for the Pro Swing first annual indoor golf tournament, January 30th through February 1st. You can get registered today by calling out here and signing up 803-528-1617. Get yourself registered. 2-man Captain's Choice teams, $150 per team, $75 per individual. Call out and get registered. We'll tell you more about that as we go through the day. All right, we're off Monday. We're not here. I'm off Tuesday. I'm out Tuesday, a little personal vacation day. But National Championship Monday night. Number one, Preston, we've talked about this. 1, 2, 4, or 5. Your vibe check here. Where are we at in watching? Where are you at? We've discussed this, but now let's get it down to brass tacks. 1, 2, 4, or 5. No 3 on watching this national championship game.
A solid 2.
You and I are in agreement. We are watching it because I feel like we have to watch it. I don't know where I'm at. I love college football. I thought that this was one of the greatest college football seasons we have watched, witnessed, seen in a very long time. South Carolina winning helped, obviously, tremendously. But the football season itself was great. The opening round of the playoffs was an absolute blast. I know the games weren't particularly great, but the opening round was fun. It is just now, I'm with you. It is like a Super Bowl without all the fun of people, food, commercials, all the fun things that kind of make the Super Bowl. And I'm with you on a 2. It's just like, all right, we got to do this.
Yeah, and it's through no fault of their own. I mean, those teams have earned it, and they played really well to get to this point, and so they should be there. But, just not that excited to watch it on a Monday night, especially after what I think is going to be an amazing weekend of NFL football.
You know, the other part to this is I don't think. Because some people might say, oh, you're not interested because you're not an Ohio State fan or you're not a Notre Dame fan or, you know, it's the game. The game isn't that exciting. I don't know of a game that I would want to watch. Like, I genuinely, I've seen Oregon. Georgia looked awful. Let's be honest. Georgia didn't look like Georgia throughout the season, and then in the Notre Dame game looked awful. Gunnar Stockton wasn't it. Texas, I've seen Texas get obliterated by Ohio State. I mean, that game, I know what the final score was, and I know Texas had the ball on the 1-yard line where they all of a sudden forgot how to call plays. And what were they supposed to do, Preston?
What you talking about?
Texas at the 1-yard line against Ohio State. What was it you said on Monday? What were they supposed to do?
Run the ball forward. What are we doing going sideways? Why would you go sideways to go forward? What are we doing?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Steve Sarkisian forgets that 1 yard is just right ahead of him. Oregon got embarrassed. I don't know how good Oregon is. I don't know if there's a game that would have me sitting here with you here on this morning being like, yeah, I'm excited to see that game. Like, I don't know what game out there would have been a good finish to the national championship. I feel like this is as good as any of them. Are you with me on that?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Throughout the system worked. I think we ended up with the 2 best teams in the end. I think we got everything. I think everything worked as it was supposed to. But I've just seen a lot of great college football, and I'm good with it.
Yeah, I hate to say this. I'm kind of ready to just get this thing over and let's go on into basketball season, finish up basketball season. Let's get into first pitch 4 weeks from today for Paul Maneri's team, and let's get to March Madness, and then let's get to I'm with you, and then let's circle back to 2025. All right, so you're going Ohio State. I'm going Ohio State. Ohio State wins this thing, and what do we make of Ryan Day then?
That's the tricky part, because I don't know what for Ohio State fans. We have to talk to Safi. Does this feel like joy, or does this just feel like relief? And I wonder what the feeling is for Ohio State. Does Ryan Day feel happy, or does he just feel relieved that he won?
I feel like he's relieved. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I feel like he's relieved. I don't know if there's happiness in here, and here's why I say that. He's not going to get fired, but if Ohio State loses this game, the amount of scrutiny that he will get, the amount of hate, I mean, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be hate. The amount of hate he will get from the Ohio State fan base if he were to blow this game. That's why I'm saying I almost don't know if this is any fun for him. Like, this is, I guess it is fun, but I'm with you. I don't think it's almost like relief. Whew, I get to go now until August before anybody yells at me again.
Right, and again, he gets to win this game, but they're still coming around. Like, you now you got to beat Michigan. Most important.
Yeah,
you haven't done that. So
yeah.
I don't know. In a way, let me be clear. I don't feel sorry for any of them, but in a way, it kind of sucks because the team's been playing really well. They've done a great job this whole season, but I just don't feel like when they win, it's going to be a sense of joy. It's just going to be like, oh, thank God we did that. Get that monkey off our back.
So we both got Ohio State. As we wrap up the program, South Carolina and Oklahoma tomorrow, 4 o'clock. We'll have it for you right here, 3:30 pregame, 4 o'clock tip-off from Norman, Oklahoma. Preston, does the season continue? Well, we know it continues. Are we still talking about this thing next week?
That one arm is in the air right now. The ref just came over to Hulk Hogan. His arm is up. Is it going to shake, or is it going to be in the sleeper hold? I don't know.
I'll be back on Wednesday. Preston and Jen will be back on Tuesday. We'll have everything covered. Thank you to all the great folks out here at Pro Swing. Stop by and hang out today. Y'all have a great rest of the day.
Hey, it's Jen for CHW Cabinetry in Lexington. It's such a great experience with CHW. When we had the incident in our kitchen, everything was flooded, had to gut it, take it down to the studs, which meant we had to replace all of the kitchen cabinets, something we weren't looking forward to doing, but they made the process so much better, helped us figure it out, got that photorealistic rendering that was a picture of our kitchen finished, which was great because you could take a picture of a finished kitchen when it wasn't finished to go pick out everything else. But they can help you with so many other things as far as functionality goes, maybe getting some drawers in your pantry, maybe replacing those wire hanging racks that drive you crazy in one of your closets. If you're looking to maybe get a home office workspace set up, well, they can help you with that as well. I encourage you to reach out to chwcabinetry.com or call them at 803-520-6837 and tell them Jen Jensen sent you. CHW Cabinetry, passion from inspiration to installation.